Guys, so in this video, we are going to be talking about a recent job that we hired a contractor to do, clearing out some vegetation, but he did not fulfill his end of the bargain. However, he still wanted payment. We can't do that. Stay tuned for the video, and then I'm going to take you out in the field with me as well. All right, guys, so I'm John. Welcome back to my channel. Real quick, wanted to talk to you about working with contractors. I'm a GC. I work with a lot of contractors. I manage a lot of projects. This particular one that we had was clearing away vegetation in the backyard. In St. Louis, is middle of the summer. Pretty much any house that we have now, part of the deferred maintenance is going to be the overgrown vegetation in the backyard. So when we get it, we have to have either an occupancy inspection, or if we put a Section 8 tenant in there, we have to have a Section 8 inspection. And that's one thing that they're going to call out, is that overgrown vegetation in the backyard. So we put the bids out. We had one guy come in at around 3,000 or something. The other guy was like around 6,000 something. I was walking there with the guy who was 6,000 or something, and I actually liked him a lot better. I've done business with both guys before, but he was letting me know that pretty much if you don't use me, most likely you're gonna be calling me back. If guys come in cheaper, they're not gonna be able to get it done. And I think that's because he knew his labor, and he also knew how much it would take to haul away all of those strips of the vegetation and the debris. So we end up going with the cheapest guy, and the cheapest option can sometimes be your most expensive option. And yeah, he just didn't fulfill. He didn't fulfill it. So in order to keep the project moving forward, I actually had to go out there and put man hours in, because the client has trusted us with this job. We don't want to go back to them. Hey, this guy, he underbid himself. No, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it closed out. So yeah. So basically, he had me come out to the property. He told me that he was all done with everything, and he told me he was all done the night before. And I went out there, and I'm like, "You're not done. The garbage can is full, and there's still a ton back here that's gonna be, if not filling up that garbage can one more time, if not twice." So that was one red flag right there. Also, he let part of it is me as well. So the money got ahead of the work, to where when the money gets ahead of the work, the contractor, they don't see the value in coming in to finish the job. And he would hit me up and let me know, hey, could I get this so that I can get the dumpster out, so that we can keep the job going. But I just had to come to see the job before I deployed any more money to him getting another dumpster. And I told him, no, we need to find an ending point for you on this job. But as I mentioned, I went out there, and there just was still a lot more work, even with the vegetation clearing, at least how I like to see it. And also, when I first gave him the job, I called him several times. Hey, are you sure you're going to be able to get all the way to the fence? You're going to be able to get the logs out of there? Go check it out. Go look at it. And he sold me to get the job. He sold me, yeah, I'll be able to get it. I'll be able to get it. And then also at the end, he sold me on why he wouldn't be able to do it. So I had about $550 more that I owed him. And then I get a text that, with this yard, about $1,500 more would be what we'll need to be able to close this yard out. I told him we can't absorb that type of change order. And he was letting me know that, the yard, it just keeps going and going, and I can't see the fence. And I'm like, you can't see the fence. I pointed it out during our walkthrough. And at least how I like to see it, and I told him as well, is I want to be able to walk along the fence and rub my hand along the fence, or take a lawnmower and go along the fence line. And when I got there, and some of the work that I did, and you'll see it on the video, is that I had to pull more of the vegetation and then rake the vegetation away from the fence. What happens is a lot of that vegetation is intertwined with the fence, and then if I have a hauler come behind and get it, now he's not just hauling and picking up the vegetation, but he has to go in there and cut that stuff away, because it wasn't it wasn't moved away from the fence properly. So that has me thinking now, what's going to be the system or the process as I begin to hire more people for this job? And I may have a process to where we want to see the vegetation down and we want it raked at least maybe like 2 feet or a meter away from the fence, so that we can know that it's completely detached from that fence. And also at a glance, I can walk and I can see, okay, well, you don't even have it raked a meter from the fence yet. Just quick glance things that I'll be able to see. Well, I can't take a lawnmower around the perimeter of the yard yet at a quick glance. So just based on those two things, you know that you're not done. It is very easy to be able to tell that you're not done. So those are just things that I had to do. We're going to go out in the field so you can see some of it. Some of the work, we're not all the way done yet, but I did want to put this video together so you guys can see some of it. Then when we're all done, we'll come back here and we'll close it out. But we're gonna get through the end. We'll get this job done. It's a learning lesson for both parties. Not sure if we'll do business in the future, but if we do, maybe it'll just be a small job. He's not a bad guy at all. It's just that he underbid himself, and now how much he's owed is not, the scope is actually still worth more than what he's owed. So we'll see. I'll continue to be in communication with them, but let's go ahead and head out in the field so you guys can see how it is, how the vegetation job is going. Hey Willie, no, I haven't seen anything yet. I can't break the payments down for the day. It's for the job. It still was a lot of unfulfilled work, man, that I had to come behind and do. This is my second day. I'll be back here tomorrow, and then on Monday we probably had the chipper out here. But a lot of the vegetation was still at the fence, so I had to rake it away to where when it's time to haul, we can just pick it up and we don't have to sort of cut it away from the fence. So I did that. This down log, that was an issue. I got that down and cut it up. So I'm walking along the perimeter of the fence, which was what we were seeking when we hired out for this job. So this corner, the problem corner, I'm gonna be back early in the morning and I'll get that clear. Just further moving along, I still had to come behind and cut a lot of stuff, get it cleared away. So this is all stuff that I put in the center of the yard. So we have two areas where we didn't reach fulfillment. One is total clearing away the vegetation from the fence, and the other is the hauling. And I know that trash can was an issue, but that shouldn't have stopped us. If anything, we could have kept going and just got all the vegetation to the yard. And then from there, we like, hey, we out of money. We don't have any, we can't do anything. But I was left with two unfulfilled sectors of the job, which is the hauling and pulling away from the vegetation. So, and I've already paid $2,500 out on this job, and then I had to come and work 2 days. Even this back here, I cut some of it, but I'm gonna have to cut this up and get this hauled. So I think the best bet for us to do, for both of us, is to cut our losses. I think you have $550 more that would have been paid out to you upon completion of the job, but honestly don't know why you would come back anymore, because what's left is still worth more than $550. But it's up to you. I'm not holding nothing against you. I know you underbid yourself, but just you as a businessman, I can't absorb any mistakes that you made from just from underbidding the job. So we tried to narrow it down as much as possible. At first, we're calling several times, making sure that, hey, we're good on the price, good with the yard, all the way to the fence. Want to be able to see the fence, stand in the middle of the yard and see the fence all the way around. But that was unfulfilled. So, like I said, there's no hard feelings on my end. Maybe in a few months, we'll circle back up together on a smaller job. But yeah, I can't see anything else. I wouldn't be able to pay nothing else out on this job unless this job was 100% complete. There still was a lot of unfulfilled work, despite you underbidding the job. I understand that, but you know, we can't absorb that. So that's where I'm at with this job. 2 days in, but still not done with it. Almost done, but yeah, this is all that we had to still do. So we don't even know if we have enough money for hauling. So that's why we're gonna look into getting a chipper to where we can grind a lot of this stuff up, turn it into mulch, and maybe just spread the mulch out along the yard and around the trees. So. All right, and there you have it, and that's the status with the yard and all of this overgrown vegetation. We saw it through. I think I'm going to start doing more videos like this because, as I mentioned, I project manage, GC, run a ton of different renovations, so I always have stories. I'm always working with contractors, so as long as we're working with contractors, we're going to always have stories. But if you like content like this, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. Again, my name is John Lewis. I'm trying to keep a video coming to you all every week, so I will see you all next week at the next video.